By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to attract a healthy masculine man into your life. He will be providing for you. He will be chasing after you. He will be taking care of you. He will be supporting you in every way that you desire. You will know how to pick the right men and make sure that you are showing up in a way that they're going to be attracted to you, that they're going to want to commit to you and have a relationship with you. You're going to want to write this down, and you may even have to watch this video a couple of times before you really are able to understand and practice the advice that I'm going to give you. The first thing I want to say, and you really want to write this down, the easiest way to get any human being addicted to you and treating you in the way that you desire to be treated is to be addicted to yourself. It's to be obsessed with building your confidence, with becoming better, with accomplishing and attracting the things that align to you. Your priority should be living the best possible life that you can, and having your standards and sticking to your standards, sticking to your healthy boundaries, because that is what's going to attract the exact right people into your life, the exact right opportunities into your life. Whether you're manifesting a relationship or you're manifesting something else, having the energy of validating yourself first, it's going to magnetize you and make you attractive to everyone. Because when you have high standards and when other people can see that you have high standards, that boosts the confidence of everyone around you. That boosts the commitment of everyone around you, because they know that being associated with you, being in your presence, makes them feel good about themselves. It makes them higher value. It elevates them, either emotionally, financially, physically. Maybe it elevates their status. In whatever way, they are going to feel validated simply being in your presence. And that comes from having standards, from being confident within yourself and being obsessed with yourself. Having your best interest in mind at all times. So let's get right into it, all right? How to talk to men. Tip number 1. This is actually based in response to a question that I get from a lot of you, and especially the women that I work with one-on-one. I get this question a lot. So I figured I'd answer it in this video. The question is, how do you get men to pay for you? How do you get them to give you money? How do you get them to provide for you? How do you get them to do things for you? The answer is very simple. You can get men to provide for you financially in 3 easy steps. Okay, the first step is having the mindset that you actually deserve what you're asking for. If you go up to a man on your first date and you ask him for $1,000 because you just want $1,000, and it's the first 10 minutes of the date, that may not be the right moment to ask. Okay? Do you actually believe that you deserve $1,000 right now? What is the reason why he would give you that? If you can't even answer that question reasonably in a way that makes you comfortable, then it's probably not the time or the place to bring that up. It's probably not the scenario or the situation that you're gonna have. So the first step is actually feeling like you deserve this, actually feeling like you are entitled to receiving this from him. Because if you're just asking for the craziest thing and you're trying to get like as much money as possible up front without building any type of connection or having any type of bond with people that you're speaking to, it can come off really transactional. And if that's your goal, then you do what you want to do. That is your decision. But in terms of forming a long-term relationship with a masculine, healthy, provider type man that's going to consistently take care of you, it's not something that's going to come all at the beginning, right? You may have one man that you're chatting with and he's just willing to throw money at you on the first date. He's willing to take you shopping and do all these financial things, and then maybe a week later he never calls you back. He never goes out with you again, or he expects to receive some sort of physical intimacy from you, and if you don't accept, then he never speaks to you again, right? Or he may expect certain things that you're not comfortable with, right? This isn't always the case, but there could also be an opposite situation where you're chatting with a guy, you know, he does the basic things like pay for the dates and pay for the obvious things, but he's not going to just give you money up front, right? But then a couple months later, you're in a serious relationship, and then now he pays off all of your bills and he takes care of everything for you. So when you are dating and when you're talking to these men, you want to think in the long term, especially if you have the intention of being in a long-term relationship. You don't want something that's just like quick and fast and transactional. Then you want to take it slow. When you start asking for money or you start asking for help, start small, right? Maybe you've been driving to meet him for dates and he's already obviously paying for the dinners and paying for the dates, but you want to ask for gas money, right? It's okay to ask for these things. You can start small and ask for these things. Some guys won't offer because they just don't think about it. They just don't think to offer something like that, but they're more than happy to help you with it, right? Or maybe they don't think that you're worth it. They don't think you're worth helping in that way. And if that's the case, it's good that you asked, because they have a right to tell you no. And you also have a right to say, okay, well, I'm looking for a man that's going to pay for things, especially something as simple as gas money, right? So if he's not willing to do that, then maybe we're just not meant to be in a relationship. And it's good that you find that out sooner, because then you know, and you can focus your energy on being available to finding someone else that could actually be that person for you. So when you're asking for financial assistance of any kind, start small. Don't ask for your wildest imagination things on the first date, okay? Obviously, you can look for men that are more generous. Everyone is different, right? I love dating generous men. My boyfriend is very generous with me. But I had to ask for a lot of things, and that was okay. You know, I started small, I worked my way up, and I feel very taken care of. And I want you to feel that way too. But understand that if we went on our first date and I asked him, hey, you know, I have to pay for this, this, and this, I need $1,000, he would probably get the wrong impression. He would probably think, oh, she's not even gonna get to know me first. She's just gonna ask me for money. How does she even know we're gonna be together? Like, what's happening? It feels weird, it feels confusing. Sorry, I just got a phone call. But it may be a little bit confusing for him if you just start asking for certain things without necessarily building a relationship. Because it's not a matter of whether or not he's gonna pay for you, whether or not he's gonna help you financially. It's more so about the right timing, okay? Just as you would expect him to respect your physical boundaries, you need to respect his financial boundaries. So you don't want him to buy you dinner and then say, oh, I bought you dinner, so you have to go to the bedroom with me, right? You would feel kind of like used and feel like, well, you don't even know me yet. Like, why are you asking for this right now? Like, take it slow, you know, let's build a connection first. It's the same thing for men with money. So if they have the ability to provide for you, then they're not going to always want to do it right away. They're going to think, oh, well, we're not even in a relationship yet and she's already asking for money. It's kind of a weird feeling. It feels like, oh, like, are you just using me? No one wants to feel that way. So when you're asking for any kind of financial assistance, you really want to start off slow and start off with the reasonable things. So like I said, if you're going out on dates a lot and you're meeting him, he can help you out with your gas money. That can lead to, okay, you're talking on the phone every day, you're FaceTiming every day. That can lead to, oh, you know, phone payments, or buying you a new phone, or paying for your school, or paying for fixing something in your house. Maybe something in your house broke, so he fixes it, or he pays someone to fix it, right? It's going to naturally build up to a point where he'll be fully paying for everything, right? But it's probably not going to happen immediately in the relationship, and you kind of don't want it to, because you don't want to feel like you're trapped in a relationship either, right? Because if he's like paying for everything right away, and you haven't built a connection, you may feel kind of like, ooh, like, do I have to stay with this guy? Like, he's paying for everything, like, what does he expect? You know, you also want to have that time to get to know them and see what they offer you, how generous they are, if they could be a long-term partner for you, right? Before you're investing all of yourself into the relationship, and before they're investing all of themselves. So the key is to feel like you're entitled to whatever you're asking for, feel like it's reasonable, because if you're not confident in what you're asking for, he's definitely not going to say yes. He's definitely going to feel offended, because your energy isn't calm, your energy isn't secure, it's confused and like, you know. And also, you don't want to make a huge deal out of it. So you want to simply ask for things, right? You don't want to be like, oh, you know, I was thinking, and I was hoping, I wanted to ask you something, and I was wondering if maybe, possibly, and it's okay if you say no, but if you could please possibly help me and give me money for blah, blah, like, no, that's too much talking. You want to stay calm when you're asking for something, because you feel that you deserve it. You feel that it's reasonable and valid and appropriate. So ask with confidence. If you feel like it's shaky, you're not sure how it's going to come out, practice in the mirror. Say it out loud to yourself first and see how you feel saying that, and that will help you prepare for when you're in a position with a man where you actually have to ask him directly to help you with something. Another way to start getting a man comfortable with giving you money is through getting them comfortable doing things for you. So asking him to help you with things that are more physical, like carrying heavy things, opening doors, opening jars, you know, doing physical labor in some way, like taking out the garbage for you, or parking your car for you, or whatever, little details, little things that you can just ask him for help with that. He's gonna start to feel like, okay, like, she comes to me for help, like, I am valuable in her life, she's important to me, I'm important to her. It builds that connection, so when you ask for money for something, it doesn't come out completely unexpected, like, whoa, she just asked me for this money, that's so random, it feels weird. It feels like, okay, she's been asking me for help with things. Money is a lot easier to give, right? Like, if you're asking someone to take an hour or 2 hours out of their day to help you move somewhere, or to help you do some kind of physical labor or thing at your house or something like that, it's a lot easier for a man to just give you money for something than it is for them to go out of their way to do something for you, unless, of course, he doesn't have the money. Then he's going to be like, oh, do not ask me for money. I can help you with stuff, but I do not have money. So that just depends on like the guy also, but it's a lot easier for a man that's well off to say, yeah, I'll just give you money to pay for it. You know, like, you've been asking me to do a lot of stuff, but no, here's the money. That's easier. Part of being able to talk to men and get the results that you want and get the relationships that you want is being able to match with the right men. Not just going out on any date, not just chatting with any guy, not just swiping on any person that's available. I've learned so much from my own personal dating journey, and from the journey of all of you, from the journey of all of the people that I work with one-on-one. And I feel like the old way of dating is just not working anymore. And so I'm very excited to announce, and I wasn't planning on announcing this yet, but here we go. We've actually been working on a new dating app. I know. It literally takes less than 3 minutes to create a profile, because all you have to do is put in your photo, select the options for your profile, and select what you're looking for. It will literally use AI and match you with the people that fit your requirements. And on top of that, it's going to tell you the percentage of how compatible you are with each person. You don't have to swipe, you don't have to do anything, you just have to fill out the form, and it will literally show you on the screen all of your available dates, and you can chat with any of them for free. If you want to download it and try it out and start meeting with people, the link is in the description. If you end up signing up, let me know in the comments, because even though I have a boyfriend, I obviously have a profile because I need to test the app and make sure it's working properly. So if you see my profile, chat me, message me. I'd love to connect with you. Okay, moving on to tip number 2 on how to talk to men. This is in response to another question I got on the first part of the How to Talk to Men series. Someone had asked, well, how do you get men to change? How do you change things about them that you don't like? Maybe they have certain traits about them that give you the ick, or they have certain beliefs or viewpoints on things that you don't agree with. So if you're on a date with someone and they say something and you don't really agree with it, don't try to change their mind. Okay, you can change certain things about men as you use the power of suggestion. You won't have to necessarily force them, but when you're first dating them, when you first meet, when you're on the first date, or even the third or fourth date, your objective isn't really to change them right now. So the mistake that a lot of women make is they go on the first date, he says something that they don't agree with 100%, and they call him out on the spot. They tell him, oh, I don't agree with that, that's wrong, that's not something that I believe, and you need to change the way that you think because that's not right. No, you don't need to do this right now. It's actually going to push him into becoming more defensive and wanting to be more firm in his belief, when you could have easily used the power of suggestion to slowly and softly guide his behavior and guide him into where you want him to go. So the easiest way to change the way someone is by not trying to control them. So your objective is not to change someone and force them to be your dream guy. Your objective is to observe and see if they have the foundation for what's going to be the best possible relationship for you. So little things, they don't matter. You can change them, right? Like, I've worked with women where they were about to end relationships. They were considering ending a relationship because they didn't like the way that their boyfriend or husband was dressing. And I'm like, girl, so you're telling me this man takes care of you, he is loyal to you, he's kind to you, he treats you well, and you're going to end this relationship because you don't like his skinny jeans? No. That is one of the easiest things you can fix. Okay, so what is the mistake that you're making? Well, you see something you don't like, whether it's the way he dresses, the way he talks, certain things he says, certain things he does, his hygiene, or the way he takes care of his home, the way he cleans, the way he cooks, whatever little things that aren't necessarily a huge deal breaker, but they're just very annoying, like smaller things, smaller parts of his personality. Instead of calling him out and insulting him and making him feel like he's doing something wrong and trying to force him to change or manipulate him or give him ultimatums, you don't need to do that. Instead of doing that, focus on your desires. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you prefer and communicate from this place. So instead of telling him, oh my gosh, I hate your skinny jeans. Your skinny jeans are so ugly. They look so bad on you. I don't think any man looks good in skinny jeans. It's a horrible fashion trend. I don't understand why men wear them. Blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing all that, what's an alternative? How do you use the power of suggestion? Well, you communicate what you do prefer. Okay, you use the power of seductive communication. So instead of calling him out and insulting him, you tell him, you go to the mall. You say, oh, let's go to the mall. Let's go shopping today. There's a few stores I want to check out. You go to a good store, random store, and you pull him into the men's section. And you find a pair of pants that you like, some that are not skinny jeans, and you just look at them. And you're like, ooh, I like these pants. And then you look at the pants, and then you look at him. And then you look at the pants, and then you look at him, and you're like, what do you think would go good with these pants? What kind of shirt would you wear with these pants? Right? You're asking him questions. So now he's envisioning himself with these pants, and he's like, oh, what would I match it with? Oh, maybe like this shirt or that shirt, And then you say, I feel like these would look really good on you. Do you have pants like this already? You should try these on. I'm so curious to see how they're gonna look on you. Just try them on. Of course he's gonna try them on because he's gonna like being the center of attention. He's gonna, it's something easy to do. Just, try on some pants. You're not telling him that his current pants are bad. You just saw something that stood out to you and you want him to try it on. He tries them on, you compliment him, you tell him, oh my God, they look so good on you. You have to get them. These look so good on you. Oh, you should wear these for date night tomorrow, whatever. And then he buys them, he starts wearing them. When he wears them, compliment him, use positive reinforcement to get him to do what you want him to do. Stop trying to use these negative, stop trying to punish him into being who you want him to be. Just reward him for his good behavior. It's very simple. When you use the power of suggestion, you're not changing him. You are allowing him to change himself because he wants to get some reaction out of you, or because he wants to make you happy in some way or receive some validation. If he wears a pair of pants and it makes you compliment him and tell him how handsome he is, he's gonna wanna wear those pants more often. He's gonna wanna wear things that you like more often. But if you insult him about what he's wearing and you make him feel bad about it and you try to embarrass him, he's just gonna feel more resentful. He's gonna feel like he has to go against what you're saying and he doesn't wanna just do what you tell him to do, right? Because as human beings, we don't want to be told what to do, to be told, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. We want to have free will. We want to make choices. And at the same time, we want to make the people around us happy because we want to get validation from them and we want them to make us happy too. So it's not that he doesn't want to change, it's that he doesn't want to feel like he's doing it just because you're making him. So allow him the space to make his own decisions and just communicate from your desires. And this goes for everything. It's not just how he dresses, okay? You can do this with any aspect. Of course, that was just one example from some of the people that I've already worked with, but if you have a unique situation that you want advice on, the links for that are in the description as well. Moving on to tip number 3 on how to talk to men. This is all about expressing gratitude. So in my last video on this topic, I told you guys that you don't want to be like overly impressed with every single thing that he does. You want to have like different levels of gratitude because you want to have room for improvement. So if he's doing the bare minimum, then you don't want to give him all this validation because he's not going to feel like he needs to earn more. He's not going to feel like he needs to do anything more because he's already receiving all of the validation that he wants. But when you reward him according to what he's doing and you have different levels of validation that you give and gratitude that you express to him, then he's gonna think, okay, I want her to have a certain type of reaction. I have to work harder. I have to put in effort. It leaves room for passion and romance and surprises instead of everything just being boring all the time, right? And having one tone to the entire relationship. You want to have different energies in your relationship, not just one feeling the whole time and one single reaction every time. That's going to incentivize him to want to do more things for you. So to start off, you can think about it like there's 3 levels of gratitude. Now, there is no one generic response, so please choose your own levels and choose the way that fit the situation the best for you. But the first level of gratitude is, for example, when he does something that he's already supposed to do. Now, this is going to be different for everyone, right? Because we all have different expectations. I'll give you me, for example. I expect that when I go on a date with a man, he's obviously going to pay for the bill. I expect that he's going to open doors for me. I expect that he's going to be polite to me and be loyal to me if we are in a committed relationship. So when he does these things, I'm not going to scream and shout and cheer because obviously he's doing those things. That's the minimum. That is my expectation of what a man, my partner, is supposed to be doing. That could be different for you, but those are my expectations. So that would be level 1 of gratitude. Obviously, you express gratitude. You say, thank you for dinner. It was a great date. Thank you for always, being loyal to me. If you feel like you want to say something, you can, right? Although some of these things don't always need to be said constantly, but different people prefer different levels of verbal validation. So it really depends on your personality, and it depends on his personality as well. So then the third level of gratitude would be like he does the most crazy thing, like he buys you a huge gift out of nowhere, or he does the nicest thing for you, or he takes you to somewhere crazy. Like, this is like your jaw is dropping on the floor. Oh my God, I can't believe he did this for me. This is amazing. That would be when you're screaming and shouting and like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you so much. You're so great. I appreciate this. I love you, whatever. And then level 2 gratitude would be pretty much anything in between. So every situation is going to be different, and you're going to want to adjust depending on what he's giving you. You as a woman, as a goddess, you're responding to what he's giving you. You're responding to his initiation, to his energy. So if he's not giving you anything, what does he expect to receive, right? We have to be the ones to allow the men to sort of prove to us that they're worthy, because if we take on the role of trying to chase them, we're not going to be able to tell which man is serious and which man is actually aligned with us and is going to give us that relationship, that abundance that we desire. So that's why you need to follow this advice and make sure that you're not just giving everything to a man when you first meet him. You're leaving room for improvement, leaving room for him to earn more of you and earn more access to you. Send this to your friend, especially if you know that your friends are actively looking to date. Send them the link for the dating app so they can sign up as well. And if you signed up, let me know in the comments, and you have everything you need, all right? If you want advice from me, you want to work with me, all the links are in the description. I wish you the best of luck. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.